Hello and welcome, everyone, and welcome, Lisa. I'm so
Thank you.
excited to have you here. We are doing a quick series on our Park Lane team stylists for the Bling Babes, the Sparkling Bling Babes, and just sharing a little bit about our business and our experiences. So let me introduce you to Lisa. And Lisa, if you could please share a little bit about your Park Lane story.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for the warm welcome. My name is Lisa, and I started in Park Lane in 2017. Um, my story kind of always cracks me up to talk about because um, I really first heard about Park Lane after a failed attempt at a jewelry party with another direct sales company. I it was a company that I had shopped with for quite a little while. I was a big fan of. At the time, I was working full time for a downtown Chicago law firm, and I just fell in love with the idea of really of being able to throw on some jewelry to like a tunic and dressy leggings and be comfortable at work, but also look really dressed up for the office. And so I had decided to host a jewelry party the night before my jewelry party. Um, the stylist called me to tell me that the company had announced they were going out of business and that she had to cancel my party. And you know what? And she worked for that party too. um, and so we wound up canceling and everything. And she contacted me a little bit, maybe like a month later or something to tell me about Park Lane. And I was really not interested. I was not interested in this quote unquote new company I had never heard of. And honestly it was my own kind of unfortunate bias because I had I had the one direct sales company that I really liked, and I would buy jewelry from everywhere. I'm a jewelry fiend, but I had kind of gravitated towards this one particular company. And when I was invited to other jewelry parties, I would go and I would always be disappointed with the other party, with the other lines. So I was like, this is just going to be another disappointment. Like nothing's going to compare to the one that I was supposed to host. So after a little bit of convincing, I agreed to host the party, and my party was very, very successful. And so, of course, the stylist was like, Lisa, you should totally do this. Like, we could flip this um, into your starter show, your launch party. And at the time in my life it wasn't right for me, but I was like, I'll still be a good customer to you. And I was, and I think I wound up hosting at least once more, if not twice more. And every time she would tell me, every time it was great shows that would have launched my business right then and there. um and and you know what, I'll be honest, like I didn't realize the significance of that. I appreciated that she emphasized that and shared that with me, but I didn't quite realize the significance of that at the time. But down the road, life changed. I had gotten burnt out from my law firm job, and I was looking for a change. And I had decided to kind of take a little gap year. I decided to um, end my time at the law firm, take a little time off, do a little bit of traveling, and I did those things. I wound up not being gone from the law firm for about a month until they called me back that my replacement didn't work out and asked me to come back. And at that time, I was like, okay, well, I kind of balls in my court, and power is on my side. So I agreed to come back on a part-time basis, train a second replacement. But I had a trip booked to New Zealand and Australia for 3 weeks, and I was not canceling that. um,
Good.
and what's that?
I said, well, that's good.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, And I came back and trained my replacement, and then my whole life turned upside down. Um, I was 28 at the time. My best friend, who was a little bit older than me, was going to be turning 30 a few months down the line and was talking about her 30th birthday plans. And a couple days later, I got a call that she was in the hospital, and she wound up with a brain aneurysm and passing away just a couple weeks before I turned 29. So that was a heartbreaking time in my life, and I already was obviously at a crossroads where I, knew I needed a change in my life. Um, but after that happened, obviously that was a big, just a huge change in my life and navigating that. A few months later, I wound up in the hospital and finding out I have an autoimmune disorder. So it was quite a year. And
Yeah,
kind of picking myself up from that and getting myself to a better place in my life, I was like, okay, I am finally looking at what else I'm going to do, what the next trajectory of my life is going to be. And I knew I needed to do something fun and flexible. Um, and I I honestly don't know exactly how it came to me. Um, but I decided that jewelry was was the answer. So I reached out to my stylist and I was like, hey, um, do you still want me on your team? And she was like, yes, of course I do. I've been waiting, years for you to say this. And so that's actually how I got started with Park Lane. And my launch party was my third or fourth Park Lane party at this point, did qualify me in my very first show, first party.
that's amazing. So, we all know that when we come into any new job, there's obviously maybe some things we have to learn, obstacles. What was something that you had to overcome when you came into direct selling?
The biggest thing I had to overcome was just my natural shyness. You probably don't believe this with me talking to you right now because I can be a chatterbox. But on initial on initial meeting, or especially just being in front of a group of people, I definitely tend to clam up a little bit, have a natural shy demeanor, and even a little bit of stage fright. I know, like, the very first time that I decided to go live on Facebook, I was literally shaking, but I also saw the opportunity to, like, improve that. I saw, like, the all of the benefits of doing this really outweighed all of the skills that I knew that this would help me, overcome that shyness, overcome the kind of awkwardness of small talk and things like that, because it would be something that I would be meeting new people all of the time, and I like people. you know
Well, that is awesome. And you're so right. And it's funny that you hear a lot of stylists go, well, I'm naturally shy. And they're like, really? But I think that is true for a lot of us. Um, and so I'm glad you shared that so people know that it is something that you can overcome.
Absolutely.
As we move forward, could you share something that you're really enjoying in your business right now?
I am enjoying, especially that I have the flexibility is number one. Um, I have, while working Park Lane, um, held down full time and part time jobs during this time, and um, and had times where I've had to take little breaks from Park Lane, or maybe not even, maybe I shouldn't even say breaks from Park Lane, but just not being as active, not having as many events on my calendar. And Park Lane is so flexible with that it works for my lifestyle. It works if I need to take off to take care of my health, if I need, to take care of doctor's appointments, and honestly to spend more time with my family. that is something that I was really lacking. And you know, the social aspect of Park Lane also adds to that. Like my work is to hang out with people and, you know, be with people and socialize with people, which was something that was really lacking when I started and hasn't lacked since. So
Well, that's awesome. And you're so right. The flexibility is key for me too. So let's wrap it up and share something that you're really looking forward to.
my next sparkle box for sure. No, I that's my initial thought, of course, but you know what? There's always something to look forward to. I think the thing that I look forward to the most with Park Lane is that I never know what they're going to do for us next. And that might come off a little bit selfish, but it's really actually something I'm so proud of Park Lane because they deliver. Like they don't even really say, you know, we're working on this, we're working on that. They just do it and deliver it, and boom, there we have something. So, you know, what I was, you know, I was already a stylist when the first Sparkle box came out, and that came like so out of left field. And they're just always doing things to better the company, better the stylists, better our customers lives, you know. And it just, I feel like I've never really seen them take anything away from us. They've always given more and more. And so I'm excited for the more. There's a quote, more is more and less is a bore.
I love that.
I do too. So I'll end on that.
Well, that is amazing. And I want to thank you for taking the time to share. If something Lisa spoke about, maybe you just want to get paid back on your own purchases, because you can do that. We have no quotas and you can get paid back on your own purchases. What a great deal. Or if you like Sparkle and you want to see what Park Lane could possibly mean for you and the flexibility that you can put into a career with Park Lane, I strongly encourage you to get in touch with the person that invited you to watch this video and ask some questions or just lean in and join our team. We would love to have you. So, thank you so much for joining us today, Lisa.
Thank you, Kim, and thank you everyone for watching. We're excited to connect with you.
Perfect.